speaking of fitness, let's talk about Brittany Dawn. She's an online fitness, formerly known as an online fitness influencer. We had a whole episode about her, all the things she's accused of, and her story has gone so many different directions even since we did the video about her. So, but basically, just to recap, she was somebody who posted a lot online on Instagram about like her dieting. She was doing fitness competitions at one point. She, talked about her meals in a day. Typical YouTube fitness, Instagram influencer, whatever, back like 5 years ago. And then people started really liking her. She got a following. And then she would sell these custom workout plans and people would, buy them. And I guess the claims were that she would look or talk to you or figure out what your body composition is. Now, I don't think she has any training formally in any of this stuff, but she claimed that, she could give you or I or anyone a custom plan for working out and dieting. And there's also a component of like, trigger warning for eating disorders, but there was also a part of her story was that she had overcome an eating disorder. So a lot of people that had done that too reached out to her. And this isn't funny, but it's sort of funny to me, dark humor. She had an automated system set up allegedly where people would say like, hey, Brittany, I thank you so much for your, like, what you do. I had an eating disorder and I'm like struggling and I just really need help. Like, I don't know what to do. And then the automated response be like, awesome. That's great.
Yeah. I know of this. This is probably the most cringe part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm so happy for you.
I'm really struggling and I don't know what to do. Awesome. Welcome, girly. So that's what I remember. So sort of surprisingly, she got sued by the state of Texas, I believe, as like a collective, many victims came together to go to the Attorney General in the state of Texas, I believe. Now I could be wrong. I know a little
it's
bit.
a class action
Lawsuit.
And it was started, basically there was like a Facebook group that was started by the victims, like people who just bought this, got nothing really for the money that they paid. And they ended up filing for a class action and it went through, which is normally like
Crazy.
Class actions are so hard to like, there's like loads of attempts to do a class action lawsuits, even like lots of the MLMs that we tend to criticize basically have had attempts at class actions, but class actions are hard to like
get through the courts.
Yeah, because there's so many criteria that need to come into play and need to work in your favor in order for it to work. So it's kind of like, it means that there's like something real like bad there in terms of for Brittany.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the fact that it even got there, it sort of sets a precedent for other influencers. So even if it doesn't end up where she's, found guilty or has to pay back some amount to these victims, alleged victims, it could still put people on notice like, hey, you better, influencers that are making products may think twice, because even going through a lawsuit is expensive. It's a pain in the ass. You got to like retain a lawyer on, it's not cheap. It's not fun. So even if you win at the end, some influencers may be turned off by how far this has already gotten in the courts. But here's her Instagram, just a refresher. She's got almost 500,000 followers. She's wildly in love with Jesus. But she married her best friend. So she's got two loves of her life. Two men in her life. It's complicated over in Texas. She is the founder of She Lives Freed, which is I believe a Christian-based event company where you can come and be baptized or something. Like it looks culty to me personally, but whatever. And then she's the writer of Truth-Filled Captions. And here's some of her stuff. Now here's the husband who we're going to talk about today in more detail. This is her second husband, I believe. She was married before, but we don't talk about that much on her channel.
Oh, yeah, no, because it doesn't work very well with being Christian and all that.
Yeah, but that's him.
Brittany has had a little TikTok. I just sent you a link to it. Where she's addressing her cancellation. So I thought that might be
Oh,
interesting to watch. I haven't.
yes.
I only watched like a part of this, but I think it would be interesting to hear what she thinks of being cancelled.
This is like very Rachel Hollis-esque. They become like, they get
Christian, you
accused.
follow
They never talked about cancel culture until they were canceled. Now all of a sudden they're like, you know what? This is a really important issue.
Yeah, this is very bad, guys. We shouldn't be
very
doing it
bad.
to me.
Yeah, don't do it to me, but do it to whoever else. Okay, let me zoom out a tiny bit. Okay, here we go. My response to cancel culture.
If you are Christian and you follow Jesus, biblically speaking, you cannot take part in cancel culture. And oh, we are going there. 3 years ago, I walked through the fires of cancel culture for something that soon I will have the freedom to share the truth on. And after hundreds of thousands of comments encouraging me to do just this, I attempted to fill in the blanks.
The music.
It was in the middle of that attempt that I had a radical, incomprehensible encounter with Jesus Christ, undone on the kitchen floor. He saved my life.
Always on the kitchen floor.
And hours later.
Why is it
Always in the
kitchen
fetal
floor?
position. Always on the floor, either the bathroom floor, the kitchen floor, like a floor, like preferably cold, like, you know, so tiles, I'm thinking.
Vinyl.
Yeah, fetal position has come out a lot, just in terms of expressions.
There's no responsibility, none. Like thus far, it's like no one told you to make, you know, fitness content and claim that it was custom and then not respond or send anything. Like I was thrown into cancel culture. It's like you committed a crime potentially. Like whose fault is that? Yours. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was struggling to like really figure out what she means by 3 years ago, because she's just been sued. Like this is, because this is the cancel. Or I also know the story with her dog, and there's like a few other things, but this is the biggest like thing. And she's like, no, it's in the past, but don't worry, soon I'll come out. Like, shut up, Brittany. We already know.
Oh my God.
Like everyone's aware. No, soon you'll be telling us. Like what exactly will you add to the story? Because
I don't know. Nothing, probably. It's just to keep you interested in the story, which it works because I'm like, all right, what do you got to say? Like, let's hear it. I don't believe it, but it is keep me interested. And I think some people don't care. They like just any attention whatsoever is good. But the other thing, this is just sort of like a nitpick, but like Jesus saved my life. It's like, is that how it works? Like Jesus saves you? I thought Jesus was like the one that like decides if you were living or not. How does he save your life? Wouldn't he be the one guiding your life? I don't know. That's just a religious question.
It sounds like she hallucinated on that kitchen floor. She had an encounter with Jesus, and I don't know what that means in terms of, does she mean it literally, like she thought she was encountering Jesus, or does she mean it in a metaphorical came home to Jesus type? I don't know.
Buy her course or join her event. You'll find out. It's only $20,000 probably.
And hours later,
but she does need to pay her lawyer.
She needs lawyer fees. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's just annoying, whatever.
For an exchange had taken place in my heart that still to this day I struggle putting into words. I've been through cancel culture not once, but twice in the last 3.5 years.
What a victim.
And the only reason I am still here today is Jesus Christ himself. The horrendous, audacious things that I've read about myself on the internet, knowing they're the furthest thing from the truth. Slander, manipulative headlines, and words rooted with hatred that I wouldn't wish on my greatest enemy. The Lord has set a fire ablaze in my soul to make a change, to be a voice for the voiceless. Okay. For everyone out there who's received threats.
Yes, the voice of the voiceless, the fitness influencers who have been canceled community.
The voiceless Tana Mojo and Jake Paul.
The voiceless 500,000 followers Instagram account. We have no voices, guys. We need to stand up.
The voiceless who have like 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
We're voiceless.
Suddenly they're voiceless, like Shane Dawson.
Yeah, Shane Dawson, the most voiceless creator ever. Okay.
Threats, worried about their physical safety, their family at home, slanderous comments, or walked through the fire themselves. And just in case you haven't realized this by now, cancel culture has a demonic agenda attached to it, and I am calling it to the carpet. It is not strength, to hold someone down. It's insecurity. And for some of you guys, this might be the only sentence you need to hear in this entire video. That stronghold was broken, and I now walk in God-given authority against cancel culture, against slander and hate, against the demonic spirits behind it. I walk in God-given authority against the spirit of that is running rampant behind cancel culture. That
I think she forgot to add the titles in afterwards. Because she's like, it says it right here. There's nothing. It's like blank. Read it and weep. It's like, there's nothing there.
That is encouraging people on the internet to take their lives. Cancel culture is bitter, graceless, manipulative, and demonic. And biblically speaking, cancel culture needs to be canceled. I fear my God more than I fear the opinion.
Cancel culture needs to be canceled.
Do you see the meta universe that she's in? Actually, you guys canceling me are demonic, but you know what? I am okay with being demonic canceling you.
But Jesus told me that I'm allowed to speak on his behalf, and he says cancel culture is canceled.
I am Jesus's fave. So we are demons, Kayla. Did you know this? Actual demons. We're demonic.
It's not the first time I've heard that. Personally, you got a demon in you. I'm like, thank you.
We were also Beetlejuice at one point.
Oh yeah, it's called a personality. Why don't you get one? Damn, it's not a demon. It's called character. I'm sorry.
I'm okay with being the demon. You know what? If they want to call me demonic, I'll put it on a t-shirt and wear it proudly.
Yeah. Demons.
Unfollow me.
That's what Brittany's saying.
I love you.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Unfollow me.
Demons. Just say that over and over again. That's my sermon. Okay, we're almost done. We got a little bit long. I don't know how much more she could possibly say. She's already repeated herself 20 times about the demons are causing cancel culture, and they always take it to the extreme too. This is what Heidi Powell said as well about cancel culture when Dave was getting canceled for Pancake Gate. Again, another thing that was, I think deservedly critiqued very, well, I think, very deeply, because it was a deeply disturbing thing that happened. So it's I don't know. She's like, cancel culture forces people to kill themselves. It's like, no, I don't think so. That is one response that could be taken, but someone becoming a victim or watching someone say something that an influencer saying something or being caught up in a controversy could also do the same thing. So saying the critique of the bad behavior is causing people to hurt themselves. It's that's not really fair, I think.
No, it's not, and I don't know to what extent that is true at all. What are they talking about?
They're like, bullying makes people kill themselves. It's okay, yeah, I agree with that, but that's not what's happening to you as a grown adult who made a choice and now is getting critiqued for it, criticized for it. I just don't find that to be the same level of truth. But they all use it. They all say the same shit.
I mean, of course, we're going to be demons, bullies, everything.
Haters.
Anything but, anything that isn't, fair criticism, that's what we are. You just...
Reasonable. Yeah.
I don't know. I hate this. And we've talked about this before, but I hate this double standard. If the BBC runs a story, nobody's going to call the BBC a bully.
Well, they'll say it's fake. They'll just say, it's fake news. It's not real. But obviously it is real. It's just there's not one person to blame.
Can they call us fake news? I would
probably
I'd rather have that. Thanks, Brittany.
It's been less lately. I haven't heard the term fake news in quite a while, which is actually refreshing. I'm glad. Now it's just everything's just misinformation all over the place, has run rampant, and it's just you got to discern it on your own. No one's going to be a gatekeeper at all of information now. So you better figure out who you're going to believe.
Yeah. And I think it's a good thing you haven't heard it, because that was Trump's favorite phrase.
Oh, I know. I think once he left, it was less. But we'll see.
They
Maybe
took it out of the dictionary. It's now forbidden.
It's been deleted from the vernacular.
Of man, and I fear his name more than my name being canceled, slandered, dragged through the mud, or belittled. Because what God says about me and what man says about me are two different things. God is raising up an army in this day that are unafraid to push back the gates of hell and reclaim this territory.
What?
Army of people who don't bow to societal standards or opinion of man and bow only in full reverence to the King of Kings. You cannot choose Jesus and cancel culture, and I suggest you choose wisely which side you'll drive your stake into the ground. One side edifies, the other side disqualifies. And while you may get away with hiding behind an account online right now on this earth, you will give account one day when you meet your maker face to face.
Damn.
And if I've learned one thing from this part of my testimony, it's this. You can't cancel what God has called. If you are.
That gives me like, if I'm relatable to most people, I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah. And it's like, it's very interesting that she's saying that all these accounts, like canceling her, us, we are pushing the gates of hell. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Pushing
They all
it
say
open,
the same words.
pushing it closed. Like, what? That means nothing to me. Like, are we just straight up pushing gates? I don't understand.
Physically?
Like, my visual is broken here. Like, I don't get it. But I would say that it can also be interpreted as a good thing, you know, pushing the gates of hell, as in like, as in we're trying to keep them in in it.
At bay. Like demons
Yeah.
stay inside of
Yeah.
our community. Don't let it affect the soldiers of Brittany.
Don't let the Britneys leave hell, aka
Cancel culture. I don't know.
she keeps on talking as if she's Jesus, but I think she might be just like a little, you know, Satan.
Yeah.
So,
She's one bad night away from being like, am I the Messiah?
Gabby,
it be
Hannah,
me?
step away.
I know.
We have Brittany
Brittany Dawn.
on the scene at the moment.
It really
Yeah.
does, like, you know, when she's talking, it gives me like how even she was using certain words, like that's how I feel like conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists start to talk all the time. They're like, you may have an account online, but your account with Jesus is different. It's like, damn, that word is the
Wow.
same as that word. Yeah, at the gates of hell. Oh, the gate where the, you know, I don't know, what's a Roswell has a gate too. Oh my God. And then you start to go like insane because you're connecting things that aren't connected, and like cancel culture. Jesus was canceled because of the, and it's like, oh, now we're off to the races. But
Yeah.
you know,
I wonder what the state of Texas thinks. Like, does the state of Texas think that she's, you know, unfairly canceled here? Because according to James Holian, who is the representative of the state of Texas, she has about $1 million to give back. So, you know,
yeah.
I don't know. It might be a little thing for some, but $1 million for some is kind of a lot. I don't know.
The fact that she has $1 million is insanity to me. That is crazy. Like, again,
I don't know if she has it, but because potentially some of that money would be tax
sure.
money. So maybe she not every single penny hit her account. Maybe she didn't even pay tax. Who knows? I guess like a lot of it is
different
about
crime.
to come out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a different lawsuit. I
because
also,
apparently. Can I just like give something away from the video?
Yes,
I'm not gonna
please.
give it all away, but this is like very, very funny to me because the state of Texas has asked for the documentation to be like, hey, who are your customers? How many? Everything. We want to see numbers, emails, like, names, everything. And they have asked for 5 pushbacks, like in terms of time. They didn't do it 5
Continuations.
times. Extensions, I think they're called. So they asked for 5 extensions, and then this lawyer's Calvin McLean, her lawyer's justification was that she's logged out of her PayPal account.
Okay. God.
Yeah,
That's why
so you
court is so
guys-
expensive. That's why, like, it's
She
like,
forgot her password.
This is what people
hell?
do. This is what people do. They take, if you got money, so if you can scam 1 million people and you get $1 million, okay, let's say, now you can just sue other people that are talking about you and then continuate, like extend all this stuff forever and ever. That's what the guy Alex Jones was doing. They kept pushing it off and pushing it off. And every time you push it off, you have to go back to court. You have to have your lawyers there. You have to have the judge. It costs money. And then like 7 years after whatever crime has been committed, people are sick of it. And it's like, okay, but like, that's how you can win the court system. Just waste people's time and waste your own money. It's like so annoying, bothersome.
Yeah, and I think this is a strategy that a lot of people use to just kind of run the other party down. Is that an expression used to run someone down?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
to exhaust someone. But in this case, it's the state. So I don't know. This is not it's not a person, an individual person suing her who could be like, okay, I'm sick of this. Forget it. This is the state.
Yeah. Like just keeping people like interested or I don't know, like they'll just like, that's the tactic, just like let's just keep going, pushing it, and hopefully it never comes to anything. But you know, it looks like it is at this point. So okay, so I'll let you kind of explain, you know, these are the players. This is, so Brittany is just watching, right? She's not even participating in this hearing, this particular one. Her husband's in the corner of the screen, you can see him there.
I don't,
because he was, that's him.
So basically the state of Texas filed a lawsuit in February of this year, and they had something like 5 months to give the documentation. They asked for extension after extension after extension. They still have not provided, like apparently last night, sorry, not last night, the night before this at 11:30 or 11:15 p.m. they sent like 10,000 pages.
Oh,
so the guy at the Texas thing was like, I didn't have time to like
so
look
annoying.
over 10,000 pages since last night. But so the state of Texas now filed for a motion to, I'm not exactly sure of the wording of it, but it's a motion to essentially give them the obligation to give the documentation. So they're asking the court to give them a deadline and to say you need to provide all the documentation by this date.
Okay. And then this guy, the Calvin McLean, the one that Calvin McLean guy, that is a Brittany's defense attorney. And then James Julian is the prosecutor, or at least represents the state. Okay.
Represents Texas, yeah.
Okay. And then
there's two of them who represent Texas. There's another person there, but he was just watching. And James Julian is, I suppose, an actual attorney in this case.
Okay, and there's the judge, Honorable Monica McCoy Purdy.
And she is so pretty. I love her glasses.
Yeah, she's got that close-up cam. She's like, okay, we're gonna get real close into this court case. And then iPhone 137 is just a person, I think that's a lawyer or something that's watching also.
Yeah, that works with the guy, James, that works for the Texas state. He's like watching it.
Okay. Is there any particular part that you think is worth listening to, or do you want to just summarize a little bit?
I wouldn't know where to find it because it's about half an hour, I think, and it's kind of, I don't know where to click to find these. But that was the funny part to me, where they're like, she's actually locked. We have a technical issue. She's locked out of her PayPal. And I'm like, did you know there's like a forgot password link?
Yeah, can you call? It's like legal issues. You could probably call PayPal. Who are these people? Just like random people? They kept recording. This is like a different meeting.
Are you at the end? I don't think this was still going at that point.
It was a little unclear based on our records. So
it's like a different court case. They just kept rolling on. Okay.
Sure.
Interesting. All right. So when are you having your video come out? Soon, right? So if you want to watch this whole thing tomorrow. Okay. So plug for Cam's video coming out tomorrow. Get all of the I'm trying to think of an adjective. Exciting details, the juicy, the delicious details.
Yeah. I'm doing a full reaction to all of it. So that's that's part of it.
That's
But
tomorrow.